Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everybody. What's going on? You know, I did a video a little earlier. It's about living your fearless life. And then I went to my group and I gave them a message about just being, starting where you're at. And then it made me think, and it made me want to come back here and say, somebody needs to hear this. Somebody, I don't know who, but somebody needs to hear this. So if somebody is battling with moving forward, with being able to show up in the world authentically, to show up in a world where they're happy with themselves, right? And I can tell you that for the longest time, it took a while for me to get to this place in this space. So when I tell you that the Carolyn that you see right now is not the Carolyn of yesterday, of not a year ago, of not 2 years ago, 10 years ago, it's just not her, right? Because we all evolve, we all grow, right? We all learn, we all grow, and we all thrive. If we choose to. See, that's the difference, if we choose to. And I know I chose a long time ago to do that. And so, like I said, I don't know who's listening to this. Whether you're watching it live or you're going to watch it on the replay. But it was dropped back in my spirit to come back and say this message to you guys. To just start where you're at. Earlier today, I did a impromptu, I call it a selfie shoot, right? And because I was downtown, I was waiting for, I took my grandma and drove my aunt. Instead of them taking an Uber, I took them down to an appointment. And I just sat outside because I said, you know what, I'm in the house all day because I work from home. And I just wanted to enjoy being outside, right? And I enjoyed being outside in nature. Even though it was concrete jungle, but I still enjoyed it, being in the city. And I just started taking pictures, right? I started taking selfies, right? A whole bunch of them. I was posing. I was like, different expressions. I was serious. I thought I was a model for the day, okay? But the thing is, I would never have done that before. I'm just trying to tell you, I would never, ever, ever, ever have done that. See, but there's a difference in the way you move and the way you walk and the way you talk when you're able to understand who you are and whose you are, right? So all the things that you've seen that came through me, that's been accomplished through me, has really been by my source, right? By a higher power that's greater than me. It's all because I just made a choice to do something different, a choice to be different, excuse me, a choice to just really walk into this purpose, walk into my greatness. And because of that, this is the product of what you're seeing. It's because I'm able to just show up. And I show up as I am. Like, I showed up today as I am today. Like, this is how I showed up. And, I had my flip-flops on. Face is not beat. And I just said, you know what? Because actually, my shirt actually comes up, but then it falls down. So I said, I pulled it down. And I'm downtown in the middle of, like, Center City. And I just started taking pictures. Boldly, fearlessly. People were looking at me. Some were smiling. Some were kind of confused. Like, what is she doing? But I didn't care, right? But that's because I just showed up. But I showed up for me. And everything that I've been doing is because I showed up for me. And so I need someone who needs to hear this. You need to show up for you. Because if no one else is going to do it, who else? We hear when we fly on a plane, they say put the oxygen mask on you first before you can help anyone else. It's the same thing. So, and if I want everyone else to be happy, that's in my surroundings, that's in my circle, that's, that depending upon me, that I need to be happy, right? I need to be able to be in this great space. And because of that, then you just change the vibration and allow other great things to come to you. And it keeps you in a space of being positive. It keeps you in a space of having this to create this different mindset that takes years. No, well, it doesn't take years. You can actually do it just like that. But to continue to practice it, that takes years. To continuously stay in this realm of positivity, because it's a choice. It's a choice. It's literally a choice. And you can either choose, Joyce Meyer says, you can choose to be powerful or you can be pitiful, but you can't be both. Like when I found that quote, I'm like, whoa, that's so deep, because it's true. And that's what I need for somebody who's watching this, who's someone who needs to hear this. It's time for you to be powerful. It's time for you to put yourself first. It's time for you to do the things that fills your soul, right? That makes you feel, even if it just feels like, well, okay, why are everyone looking at me? Don't care, right? If you go back, look at my pictures. I was having a ball with me, myself, and I. And that's what you have to get to, the place of having a ball with yourself before you can have a ball with anyone else. Before you can, step into your purpose, into your greatness, and all the things that you are destined to be. But you have to understand you first. You have to be able to be in love with you first. You have to be able to love the person that you are first. When I say be in love with you, just love who you are. Love the skin that you're in. Love the ability that you have. Love everything about you, right? Because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Fearfully. Well, I'm glad you hear me, my friend. I'm glad. All things are possible. Nothing is impossible. But you have to believe in yourself. Because like I said, I believed in myself a long time ago, after not believing in myself for a long time, right? And you have to get to a place and space where you say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm ready for something different. And because you're ready for something different, then you make that choice. And because you make that choice, then you can move forward. You ever watch a baby? You ever watch a little baby? And you watch and you just in amazement how they go from just being this little blob, right? That's all they are, a little blob. And then eventually they start, figuring out how to sit up. I'm like, what they doing sitting up? Then they eventually get their little legs and start trying to stand up. What you doing standing up? Then eventually they start they rock back and forth, and then they start moving and they start figuring it out, and then they start crawling, and then eventually they start trying to walk, and because they believed in themselves. They saw something that seemed impossible to us, but they believed. Oh no, I'm going to get over there. I'm going to get to that. Could we how did baby get over there? Because they wanted to. Because they wanted to. So that's the same thing with you. How did you get to where you're at? Because you wanted to. So Caroline, how did you get to where you're at? Because I wanted to. Because I wanted to. Because I needed to. Because it was required for me to. Because there was something greater that's waiting. So in order for me to get to what's waiting for me, I had to meet it halfway. I had to meet it there. Life is just a journey. Like if we haven't learned anything in this past, oh my gosh, almost 2 years. How about that? A year and a half, 2 years. Like I don't even remember anything happening in 2020, to be quite honest. And we're 2021, soon to be 2022. Who'd have thought? But once again, start where you're at. Start where you're at. And be okay with where you're at. And love who you are in every process, every step of the way. And show up for you first. Okay? All right, so this is your girl, Carolyn. Like I said, that's the message that came to me that I had to come back and share. Just, hi, what's going on? Just come and show up for you first. Show up for you in a way that's bold and powerful. Show up in a way that you can't be denied. Show up in a way that your presence is so known. That's how I want you to show up. I want you to show up where it's like, wow, like, who's that? I want you to show up where You show up. How do they say show up and show out? Not the show out part, but I just want you to show up. I want you to show up for you. It's no longer time to diminish yourself. It's no longer time for you to be in the back of the room. It's no longer time for you to say that you can't accomplish great things. It's no longer time. It's your time. It's your time to do great things. It's your time to move mountains when you believe in yourself. When you believe in the things that are unseen, when you believe in the things that seems impossible, when you're like, I've been trying to do this for a long time. But have you really been trying? Right? So then guess what? Whatever you was trying, do something different and watch something change. Because it'll be the difference. Will make the difference. And the difference in you. I know. See if you caught that. But the change has to come from you. It's not going to happen from anyone else, right? The vibe that you put in it, the spirit that you put in it, what you want to come back to you is what you give out. So if you want positive things to come back to you and you want greatness to come to you, then you have to put that out. You have to put that out. You have to accept where you're at. You have to embrace where you're at. You have to love where you're at. And you have to believe that where you're at is only temporarily and you will be beyond that. Because you've made a choice, because you did something different, because you came out of your comfort zone. You came from, as I was told, out of the shadows. It's time to come out of the shadows. It's time for you to, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. So the Carolyn right now, once again, is not the Carolyn that just would have seen years ago. Bits and pieces of her, here and there. But I'm trying to tell you, just show up. Just show up however you are and get started. All right? So, once again, if this was for you, I want you to say it was for me. And I want you to own it. I want you to embrace it. And I want you to make a change right now. I want you to make a choice right now. Because when you choose to make a change, you change your life. All right, you guys. I will see you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Continue to be terrific. Continue to be transformed. Continue to be thankful and all other T words that are great. Continue to be empowered. Continue to be inspired. And most importantly, I want you guys to be magnified. All right, see you guys. Bye.